In a quiet hospital room, the atmosphere was heavy with unspoken fears. Reba McEntire sat on a stiff vinyl chair, her heart weighed down as she took in the frail figure before her. Sam lay in the bed, gaunt and pale, yet his eyes sparkled with a warmth that defied the sterile surroundings. "Can you believe this place?" he joked, gesturing toward the stark walls. "I thought only rock stars got backstage passes to the good stuff. Turns out, I just needed a ticket to room 204. Reba smiled, his humor alight in the dimness. For a moment, laughter filled the space between them, a stark contrast to the reality of his situation. Sam was battling terminal cancer, and suddenly, all her fame felt trivial. Year after year of standing in the spotlight had failed to prepare her for the reality of human fragility and connection. "Could you sing for me?" Sam's request broke the spell of their levity, his voice soft but firm. "Just one song. It might help lift the curtains on this dreary show." Reba's heart pounded as she felt the weight of the request. The last time she had sung for someone in such a vulnerable state was for her father, whose pride had once filled every performance with unspoken love. Yet here she hesitated. Would her voice carry meaning in this room where darkness loomed? "Okay," she finally exhaled, allowing a flicker of courage to push through her uncertainty. She closed her eyes for a moment, gathering the memory of every note, every heartfelt lyric. As she began to sing, the room transformed. Her melody swirled around them, wrapping them in a warm embrace. Each note resonated with both joy and sorrow, creating a bubble in which the outside world faded away. It echoed with the love they both craved, yet often overlooked. Sam closed his eyes, a serene expression washing over him. But as the final notes faded, the air grew heavy with an undeniable ache. What would follow after this moment? Would her voice still linger, whispering to him through the silence? A stillness settled in the room, and the moment felt both precious and fleeting. "Thank you," Sam breathed, his gratitude unmistakable. In that simple phrase, his vulnerability mirrored her own, illuminating the shared understanding between them. Reba held his gaze, a smile forming on her lips, as a realization swept over her. It was in moments like these, raw, beautiful, and filled with love, where true connection thrived. The silence between them was no longer merely absence, it was an invitation for reflection and understanding. As she sat at the edge of his bed, she understood that while the industry had given her fame, it had often taken away the genuine moments that stitched lives together. Here with Sam, she felt a belonging buried deep within her heart, a yearning for the connections that reminded them both of what it meant to truly live. The weight of their shared moment hung in the air, like a promise waiting to be fulfilled, a song that whispered of love amidst the silence. The days following her visit to the hospital lingered like the fading notes of a melody, echoing in the recesses of Reba's mind. As she drove home, her thoughts swirled, her heart heavy with the weight of Sam's presence. The world outside her window blurred into a palette of greens and browns, open fields rolling gently under the wide sky, farmhouses dotted along the road, and the golden glow of the setting sun casting long shadows. Each glance at the familiar scenery drew her back to her roots, to the small-town life that had shaped her, far from the glitz of fame. Her mind wandered back to her childhood, those carefree days filled with laughter, music, and the comfort of family. Reba could almost hear the echoes of her mother's soothing voice drifting through the kitchen as she prepared dinner, her father's hearty laughter booming through their home. In those moments she felt untouchable, enveloped by love and the warmth of belonging. But fame had a way of cloaking those memories in bittersweet nostalgia, often hiding the costs behind the bright lights and applause. She thought of her father, who had always been her biggest supporter before cancer took him too soon. A lump formed in her throat, as memories of his encouraging words washed over her. "Your voice will always find its way to those who need it, Reba," he had told her, a sparkle in his eyes. Yet here she was, a successful singer lost in the back roads of her heart, longing for deeper connections she often overlooked amidst the chaos of touring and recordings. Reba pulled into her driveway and sat in her car for a moment longer, allowing herself to fully breathe in the soft scents of country air, feeling as though it wrapped around her like a homecoming hug. She stepped into her house, greeted by silence. The echoes of laughter that should have filled the space had faded, leaving her heart feeling achingly empty. That evening, with the glow of soft light around her, a decision began to grow. She no longer wished to remain in the safety of her bubble. Sam's brave spirit stirred something profound within her. She grabbed a notebook and began to write, letting words spill out, like the floodgates of her soul had finally been opened. She penned memories of her childlike wonder, the support of her community, and the unshakable bond with her family. Each line drew her closer to raw truths she had long tucked away. Days turned into weeks, and the laughter of elderly couples at local nursing homes became her new backdrop. Reba began visiting hospitals and care facilities, her voice guiding her through the deep shadows of those silent rooms. Each visit was a revelation, unveiling the profound impact of her music. She would sit for hours, sharing songs that had once been her own refuge, each melody conjuring memories that radiated warmth and connection. "Just a little more heart," she whispered to herself, and with each song, she found that the more she gave, the more she received back. The residents' eyes sparkled in response, sometimes glistening with tears, but often shining with joy. One afternoon, as she prepared to leave a nursing home after performing, she encountered a familiar face. Mary, Sam's sister, stood near the entrance, holding a bouquet of flowers. Their eyes met, and Mary's radiant smile brought a sense of comfort. "Reba, it's so good to see you again," Mary said, her voice warm and inviting. "I've heard about your visits, and I can't thank you enough. It means the world to Sam." Reba felt her heart swell at the mention of his name. "I just felt I needed to do something," she confessed, her spirit buoyed by their connection. "Sam has inspired me in ways I can't put into words." Mary's expression softened. "He talks about you all the time. You not only light up this place, you've ignited a spark in him that we thought was long gone," Mary shared, her voice carrying a sweetness that hinted at the loving bond between siblings. As they continued to talk, Mary's stories unfolded like a beautiful family album, revealing snippets of Sam's life before illness, the moments of triumph and laughter, the dreams that often felt just out of reach. Each shared memory served as a mirror, reflecting back Reba's own struggles and desires. "We all want to feel seen and heard," Mary said, her eyes glistening. "Life is fleeting, and I think that's what makes it all the more precious." A sense of understanding enveloped them. They stood together, two souls grasping for connection in a world that often felt isolating. Reba glanced out the window, where the sunset painted the sky with hues of orange and pink, mirroring the warmth blossoming in her chest. After their heartfelt conversation, a newfound resolve blossomed within Reba. The memories of her past had become her compass, guiding her toward a future intertwined with purpose and compassion. She knew she had to honor Sam's spirit, his courage, and the stories that had been shared during her time with Mary. That night, she took to her music once more, pouring her heart into a new song. With each note she sang, a sense of healing reverberated in the air, an echo of love, a reminder of the connections that intertwined their lives. As the moon illuminated her home, Reba understood that she wasn't just singing for herself any longer. She was singing for Sam, for Mary, and for anyone who longed to be seen, heard, and understood. The journey ahead felt daunting, yet illuminated with hope. With a heart full of gratitude and a spirit ready to confront the world, Reba embraced the magnitude of her calling, ready to weave a deeper tapestry of love and connection in the lives around her. As the gentle embrace of summer wrapped around her, Reba felt her commitment to sharing music flourish. She spent longer hours in community spaces, nursing homes, parks, and the small-town library, where her guitar became a vessel of connection. Each performance encompassed laughter and healing, echoing a space where the music carried both joy and solace. One sunny afternoon, under the sprawling branches of a grand oak tree in the park, Reba prepared for a performance. Soft melodies filled the air as families set out picnic blankets, and children raced joyfully about. Today, the front row of the audience was occupied by Mary and her family. The sight of them, grinning ear to ear, ignited a fire within her, prompting her to pour her heart into every note. "Hey y'all," Reba called out, her voice breaking through the chatter. "This next song is for anyone who ever faced challenges and still dared to dream." As the music flowed from her fingers, she felt a sense of belonging. Each lyric resonated within the crowd, illuminating stories of resilience and strength that transcended surface enjoyment. She saw the sincerity of her listeners, their eyes already shimmering with the weight of connection. After the final notes faded, applause burst forth, warming her heart like sunshine breaking through clouds. Yet, amid the appreciation, A nudge of longing remained in her spirit. She stepped off the makeshift stage and approached Mary, who greeted her with a glowing smile. "Reba, you were amazing. The kids can't stop talking about it." Mary's eyes twinkled with pride. "Thank you, but it means even more to see you all here. I need to ask, how's Sam doing?" The question slipped out, laced with both hope and concern. Mary's smile faltered slightly. "He's had some tough days, but he lights up when I tell him about your shows," she replied, emotion thickening her voice. "Can we go visit him soon? I want to bring some music," Reba suggested, wanting to uplift Sam just as he had lifted her. "Absolutely. I know he'd love that," Mary said, her optimism gentling the underlying weight they both felt. Over the following days, Reba's heart surged with inspiration as she wrote a new song. It was an anthem of hope, touching on friendship and the beauty of human connection. Finally, the day came for her to visit Sam once more. As she entered his hospital room, sunlight streamed through the window, casting a warm glow around them. "Reba!" Sam exclaimed, his face lighting up like the room itself. "You came back." "Of course I did. I'm here to share some music with you," Reba replied, settling in beside him, her guitar resting on her knee. As Sam settled against his pillows, she strummed the chords of her new song, letting her voice weave around him like a healing balm. With each verse, she poured out the love they cultivated over time, a melody of resilience laced with the strength of their connection. Once she finished, the silence enveloped them, thick with emotion. Sam's eyes glistened, a stark reminder of both their journey and the fragility of life. "You have a gift, Reba," he said, his voice barely above a whisper. "You reach deeper than I thought possible. Thank you for being my inspiration, Sam." "You've helped me find my way back to what matters," she replied, feeling the sincerity wash over them. They spoke for hours, sharing their dreams and the memories that spoke of fulfillment amidst illness. With every story exchanged, the darkness seemed to lift, revealing the light that persisted through their struggles. Reba found herself drawn not only to Sam's spirit, but the shared moments of joy in the simplest conversations. In that room, they were not defined by illness, but rather strengthened by friendship. Together, they laughed at shared jokes, reminisced about dreams unfulfilled, and connected over the melodies that echoed through their hearts. Reba recognized that life's richness lay not in the accolades of fame, but in these profound exchanges, moments that weaved their lives together, creating a fabric of love binding their souls. Her heart swelled with a sense of purpose, reminding her that through their connection, they would face any challenges that lay ahead. As the sun dipped low in the sky, casting a golden hue across the room, Reba understood that she was not just singing for Sam. She was sharing the essence of humanity itself, passing on the message of love, connection, and hope for everyone who needed a reminder that they were never truly alone. With Sam's encouragement propelling her forward, she vowed to continue her journey, encouraging people to find solace in music, embracing every opportunity to spread warmth, courage, and compassion. In those moments of shared vulnerability, Reba realized she was building a legacy that would ripple far beyond herself, a legacy rooted in love that would outlast the fleeting nature of life. As the days turned into weeks, Reba continued to visit Sam regularly, each time bringing a fresh song or a piece of her heart. Their bond deepened, transcending the confines of the hospital room into a friendship rich with understanding and shared laughter. Reba found that each visit transformed her, invigorating her spirit and reminding her of her purpose. On a particularly bright afternoon, she arrived with a new song, freshly penned the night before. The air was crisp and fragrant. Spring had fully settled, bringing with it vibrant blooms and the gentle buzz of life returning to the world. As Reba stepped into Sam's room, she found him propped up comfortably, a window cracked open to let in the warm breeze. "Hey there, superstar," Reba greeted him cheerfully, her guitar slung casually over her shoulder. "Hey back, what do you have for me today?" Sam's smile radiated joy, illuminating the otherwise sterile environment. "I wrote a song about friendship," she said, feeling the words pulse with sincerity. "It's about how connections can change everything." With each strum, the notes danced into the room, swirling around them like the summer wind. The song spoke not just to their bond, but to the larger tapestry of humanity, about how through each life struggle, a little kindness could uplift the spirit. She watched as Sam absorbed every word, a soft smile gracing his lips. "Reba, you have no idea how much that means to me," he said once the final notes faded. "It's like you're giving me strength to face each day." "This song belongs to you as much as it does to me," she replied earnestly. "You inspire me just by being you." Days continued to unfold in this gentle rhythm, visits filled with stories, songs, and laughter, until one morning her phone rang with an urgent tone. Mary's voice was tinged with anxiety. "Reba, can you come to the hospital? Sam, he's taken a turn for the worse. They're worried." A cold wave of fear washed over her, yet she grabbed her guitar and hurried to the hospital. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead as she rushed through the halls, her heart pounding with uncertainty. When she reached Sam's room, a hush enveloped her. He lay still, surrounded by machines that beeped softly, their sterile sounds echoing in the stillness. Mary was sitting by his side, tears glistening in her eyes. "Is he?" Reba whispered, her voice trembling. Mary shook her head, brushing away a stray tear. "He's still here, but he's not responding like he used to. The doctors are doing their best, but—" Reba moved closer, her heart aching for the friend who had touched her life so deeply. She held his hand, feeling the warmth of his spirit still lingering. "Sam, I'm here," she said softly, her voice carrying the weight of her love. She began to strum her guitar, letting the soothing chords fill the room. With each note she poured her heart into song, her voice weaving a tapestry of hope around them. The melody hung in the air, an embrace of love and remembrance. As she sang, she felt his spirit surrounding them, holding on to every word that expressed what lay unsaid. It was a heartfelt goodbye, a love letter wrapped in music, resonating through the halls. When she finished, silence fell over them, but the air felt different, charged with a shared understanding that transcended their situation. Suddenly, Sam's eyes fluttered open, a flicker of recognition shining through his gaze. "Reba," he breathed, his voice faint but filled with warmth. "I'm right here," she replied, tears of gratitude spilling down her cheeks. "I heard you," he murmured, a smile breaking across his face, a light that momentarily cut through the haze of uncertainty. "You've always known how to reach me." With the room filled with their connection, Sam's spirit began to lift, even if only for a moment. Each of them made a silent vow to impart strength to the other, to cherish what remained, no matter how fleeting it might be. Days passed, and while Sam's health fluctuated like the rise and fall of the sun, Reba remained by his side. She sang not only for him, but for the journeys of all who had touched her life. Their stories interlaced with hers, a beautiful mosaic crafted out of love, loss, and resilience. One evening, as dusk painted the sky in hues of lavender and gold, Reba knew it was time to channel her pain into something meaningful. She returned home, inspired to capture everything she felt in a song. In the silence of her living room, she let her emotions spill forth bare and raw, each lyric a tribute to Sam and the connection they had forged. Hours later, she stepped back from her guitar, a new song complete, a heartfelt tribute to friendship, love, and the strength that comes when you stand together, no matter the challenges life presents. It would not only serve as a reminder of Sam, but of countless connections forged in laughter and tears. As she prepared for her next performance, Reba felt an overwhelming sense of responsibility to share the message behind her music. It was no longer about fame or accolades. It was about lifting those around her, reminding them of the light they could discover even in the darkest times. The following weekend, Reba organized a charity show in honor of Sam, inviting friends and community members to come together. It was a beautiful evening, filled with love, laughter, and music. As she sang her new song, every word resonated with the heartbeats of the audience, linking them together with a shared understanding of the fragility and preciousness of life. Still, she kept an eye on her phone, hoping for updates on Sam. As she finished her final set, she felt an overwhelming wave of gratitude for the connections around her and the strength they provided. The concert's uplifting energy lingered long after the final notes faded, reminding everyone that love shared and memories cherished would live on, even amidst uncertainty. Afterward, she was surrounded by those whose lives she had touched, and for a moment, it felt like they were all singing the same song, one of hope, light, and unyielding love. Reba left the venue that night, not just as a performer, but as a messenger, committed to sharing her journey and the stories of others who had faced adversity with grace. She knew that while her heart ached for Sam, it also beat with the strength of their friendship, a bond that would forever inspire her to embrace the beauty of life, no matter how fleeting The days following the charity show were a whirlwind of emotions for Reba. The joy of sharing her music had mingled with the underlying weight of concern for Sam. Each morning, she would wake, her routines punctuated by the familiar sound of her phone buzzing with messages, her heart beating in tandem with its rhythm. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow across her home, Reba received a call from Mary. "Reba, can you come by?" Mary's voice was layered with a mix of urgency and tenderness. "Of course. Is everything okay?" Reba felt a knot tighten in her stomach as she wrapped her scarf around her neck. "It's about Sam," Mary replied, pausing. "I think it's important you're here." The drive felt longer than usual, each passing minute a silent plea for strength and clarity. When she arrived, the quietness of the house enveloped her, an echo of the heaviness that hung in the air. She stepped inside, greeted by Mary, whose eyes carried the shadows of sleepless nights, mixed with the light of unwavering love. "Hey," Reba said softly, wrapping her arms around Mary in a gentle embrace. "How is he?" "He's stabilized, but the doctors are concerned about his energy levels," Mary shared, leading Reba to the living room. "I thought maybe if you played for him again, it might lift his spirits." Reba nodded, understanding the gravity behind her friend's request. "Of course. I'll head over right now." With her guitar in hand, she made her way back to the hospital, each step feeling more purposeful than the last. Upon entering Sam's room, the familiar sight of him lying in bed gripped her heart. He looked fragile, yet the warmth in his eyes remained untouched. "Reba," he greeted, his voice a mix of exhaustion and joy. "I was hoping you'd come." "Always," she said, settling on the edge of his bed. "I've got a new song for you." As she began to play, the gentle chords filled the room, wrapping around them like a warm embrace. This song carried the weight of their shared journey, an anthem celebrating resilience and the unwavering bonds of friendship. The melody flowed effortlessly, and she could see Sam's eyes light up, the vibrations reaching into the depths of his spirit. "I needed this," he breathed, his smile breaking through the fatigue. "Your songs have a way of reminding me that I'm still here. I still matter." "You matter so much to all of us, Sam," Reba replied, pouring love into every note she played. "You've taught me more about life than I can put into words." As she finished the song, they sat in companionable silence, the air thick with unspoken emotions. Sam reached out, taking her hand in his. "You know, it's not just the music," he said softly. "It's you, the love you carry that makes all the difference." Reba felt tears well in her eyes, but smiled. "That same love comes back to me through you. It's a circle we share." Days turned into weeks, and Reba continued this ritual, visiting Sam whenever she could, using her music to lift him during each struggle. They would share laughter, reminisce about dreams, and sometimes just sit in comfortable silence, letting the weight of the world fade away. However, one late afternoon, as the bright sun set beyond the horizon, casting a golden hue over everything, Reba felt an unsettling shift in the air. Mary's cautious demeanor when she entered Sam's room made her heart sink. "Sam had a rough night," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "The doctors think he may not have much time left." Reba's heart quickened, fear clawing at her insides. They were all aware of life's fragility, yet facing the reality that they could lose him soon felt unbearable. She willed herself to remain grounded, determined to make every moment count. "Let's gather, everyone," Reba suggested gently. "I believe he would want to share this heavy burden of love one last time." Under Mary's nod of approval, they organized for family and friends to come to the hospital. That evening, the small room became filled with faces familiar and loved. Laughter mingled with tears, and shared memories unfolded around Sam, who lay surrounded by warmth and connection. Reba settled in the corner, her guitar resting on her knee as she played soft melodies, intertwining the atmosphere with hope and love. Each chord resonated with the heartbeat of friendship, creating an unbreakable bond that encircled them. In that moment, Sam's spirit seemed to lift as he felt the collective love reaching out to him. Reba sang songs not just for him, but for every person present, each note a testament to the resilience that bound them all. As the night wore on, she noticed Sam observing everyone around him, his gaze moving between faces, absorbing their energies like a cherished moment suspended in time. "Reba," Sam spoke after a while, his voice steady yet soft. "I don't want to say goodbye. I love you all too much." Her heart ached at his vulnerability. You're not saying goodbye, Sam. You're expanding our connection. Love never leaves. It stays within us no matter where we are. With each shared story, each laugh and tear, they celebrated Sam's life, everything he had brought to their lives. As the evening came to a close, Reba felt a sense of gratitude swell within her, realizing that sometimes moments of incredible love stem from immense pain. When the final family member departed, a quiet settled over the room. Sam lay peacefully, his breathing steadier, a serene expression gracing his features. Reba leaned closer, feeling an overwhelming urge to honor him. "Sam," she whispered, "thank you for everything. I'll carry your spirit with me always." And with that, embracing the moment, she began to play once more, a gentle lullaby that filled the room with love, wrapping around Sam like a comforting blanket. Each delicate note echoed in the stillness, carrying their shared memories and forging an everlasting bond. As she played, Sam's tranquility deepened, and for a moment, Reba felt that their connection transcended the physical realm. It was vibrant and alive, stretching beyond the confines of life and into eternity. When she finally finished and glanced toward him, she felt gratitude for every lesson learned in light and love, knowing that their friendship had shaped her life in unfathomable ways. Reba left the hospital that night with a heart full of love, knowing that while loss hurt deeply, the bonds formed throughout would fuel her spirit as she continued to travel life's winding path. The days and weeks that followed Sam's passing brought a poignant stillness to Reba's life. The world felt muted, as if she were walking through a dream where colors faded and sounds softened. She grieved not only for Sam, but for the beautiful connection they had shared, a bond woven with laughter, love, and profound understanding. Yet amidst the sorrow, she felt an undeniable urge to honor Sam's memory, to carry forward the light he had ignited. It was a difficult transition, one that demanded both strength and vulnerability. She often found herself picking up her guitar, playing the lullabies she'd originally crafted for him, letting those melodies echo her heart's unspoken words. One afternoon, seated in her favorite spot by the window, she looked outside at the world in bloom, the trees adorned with new leaves and flowers bursting with life. Reba realized that while Sam's physical presence was no longer with her, the lessons he imparted and the love he embodied would remain ever vivid. With hesitant determination, she decided to create a tribute concert, a celebration of life, friendship, and the indomitable spirit that carries on even in loss. She envisioned a gathering where friends, family, and the community could come together, sharing stories and music, weaving a rich tapestry of remembrance. Reba invited Mary to join her in planning the event. They gathered at a cafe, the familiar scent of coffee mingling with the sound of quiet conversations wrapped in warmth. "Reba, I think a concert is a wonderful idea. Sam would have loved it. He always spoke so highly of your voice and the way your music touched people," Mary said, her eyes reflecting both excitement and sadness. "I want it to be a celebration of hope, of the connections we shared," Reba replied thoughtfully. "We can invite everyone he knew, even those he touched in unexpected ways." As they brainstormed details, a renewed sense of purpose washed over Reba. The event would take place in the same park where Sam had first watched her perform. She knew it would be powerful to bring their circle together in a space that had held so many memories. As the date approached, the air filled with anticipation. Posters hung throughout town, inviting the community to come and share in this moment of healing. Reba felt a mixture of nerve and excitement, each passing moment urging her to channel her creativity into something everlasting. On the day of the concert, the sun shone brightly, warming the earth with its golden rays. Friends and family arrived, filling the park with familiar faces and new stories. A soft breeze rustled the leaves, as if nature itself was participating in the celebration. Reba took a deep breath, feeling the weight of expectation and love intermingling. She stepped onto the makeshift stage, her guitar resting against her side like an old friend. "Thank you all for being here today. This concert is a tribute to Sam, a celebration of his life and the love that he showered upon all of us," she began, letting her voice resonate with sincerity. "He was a light in our lives, and while his presence is missed tremendously, I hope through our memories and music we can continue to carry that light forward." The crowd offered gentle applause, their hearts echoing with shared sentiments. After several heartfelt speeches and a mixture of laughter and tears, Reba prepared to sing the song she had penned for Sam. As she began to play, The melody floated through the air like a fragrant bloom. The song spoke of friendship, vulnerability, and love that withstands even the harshest storms. Each note vibrated in the gathered hearts, weaving an invisible thread that linked each person present. Reba observed as faces lit up with recognition. Many were lost in their recollections, tears mingling with smiles as Sam's spirit seemed to dance in the melody. The resonance of community filled the park, surrounding them with love that truly transcended the boundaries of loss. Once she finished, she welcomed others to share their stories, and one by one voices lifted in an outpouring of love for Sam. Each tale, laden with laughter and nostalgia, reminded Reba of the impact Sam had on everyone's lives. As tears streaked down cheeks, laughter burst forth freely, intermingling with the sunshine above, portraying an emotional tapestry of life. By the end of the concert, Reba felt the weight of grief transform into something lighter, a buoyancy nurtured by shared memories that ignited both sorrow and joy. As the final words echoed in the twilight hour, she realized that Sam would always be a part of her journey, his spirit forever woven into the lyrics of her songs. As the crowd began to disperse, Reba felt a sense of belonging wash over her, wrapping around her heart like a beloved song. When she spotted Mary through the throng, they locked eyes, both of them sharing an understanding that they were forever changed. "Thank you for doing this," Mary said, her voice thick with emotion as she hugged Reba tightly. "Sam would be so proud." "I couldn't have done it without you," Reba replied, feeling the warmth of their friendship soothe her heart. "We shared a beautiful connection, and I know he wants us to keep celebrating life together." As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting enchanting hues across the sky, Reba felt a sense of finality and renewal. Celebrating both life and loss, the concert had stitched together the fragments of their lives into a fabric, woven with resilience and love. In that moment, she understood that while loss was painful, it was also a reminder of how precious each day is, a gift filled with the potential of connection and love. She left the park that evening with a full heart and a commitment to continue spreading the light Sam had given her, forever transformed by the depth of their friendship. In the weeks that followed the tribute concert, Reba felt a profound inner shift. The vibrant memories of Sam, the laughter, the shared dreams, the bond they had nurtured, filled her heart with a renewed sense of purpose. Each day became a canvas where she could express her grief and joy, entwined as they were. Sitting on her porch one evening, she gazed at the stars, realizing that the love they shared had not left her. It was a guiding light. Driven by a newfound passion, she began writing more songs, each melody a heartfelt tribute to the lessons Sam had taught her about love, resilience, and the power of connection. The creative flow consumed her, and soon she decided to record an album dedicated to Sam, a collection of songs reflecting the depth of their friendship and the light he had brought into her life. The recording studio transformed into a sanctuary where her fellow musicians rallied around her, infusing their energy into every note and every lyric. They understood the significance of this project, and together they created music that resonated with love and remembrance. One beautiful June evening, Reba organized a small release party for her new album in her backyard. She hung fairy lights and filled the space with blooming flowers, setting the scene for a gathering filled with warmth and connection. As friends and family arrived, laughter and memories flowed freely, surrounding her with love. When it came time for her performance, a rush of nerves mixed with anticipation washed over her. She stepped up, the familiar weight of her guitar in hand, and as she began to sing the song written for Sam, the world around her fell away. Her voice carried the weight of emotions, the joy, the sorrow, and the undying connection. Every note resonated with the audience, drawing them into a shared experience that transcended words. Reba looked around at the faces, each one reflecting love and remembrance. Sam's spirit felt present among them, anchoring their hearts in the shared moment of healing. After the final chord reverberated into the night, applause erupted around her, filled with appreciation and recognition. It was not just a celebration of her music, but a tribute to Sam, an acknowledgement of the profound impact he had on all their lives. As stories were exchanged throughout the evening, Reba felt a deep sense of gratitude. Each shared memory was a reminder of the connections forged through love. Friends approached her with tears and smiles, recounting their favorite moments with Sam. reinforcing the bonds that promised to remain untouched by loss. That night, as stars twinkled overhead, Reba understood that while grief could weigh heavily, it was also a catalyst for love and creativity. She took a moment to breathe in the warmth of the night, feeling the vibrant energy that surrounded her. She recognized her commitment to continue sharing music and stories that connected people, honoring the legacy of her dear friend. As the last guests departed, Reba realized that Sam's light had sparked a fire within her, guiding her to embrace life fully. She vowed to keep that spirit alive through her songs, illuminating the path for others as Sam had illuminated hers. Reba left the gathering that night with a heart filled with gratitude, ready to embrace every new day and the potential for connection it held. She moved forward, knowing that love is eternal, as enduring as the songs she would continue to write. And while Sam had taken his last bow, his spirit would forever echo in the melodies she crafted, serving as a reminder that true friendship lasts beyond the confines of time.